What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Checkerboard Podcast. We're here, episode 5. We got a fun one for you guys today. We're straying away from the usual topics. No fucking Dead by Daylight. No Funko Pop. Well, I mean, technically you could say Funko Pops, but not necessarily. No. Well, kind of anime.
You could say Dead by Daylight.
You could. No, yeah.
Bubba, Bubba,
Yeah.
Rip
Okay.
Bubba.
But yeah, we're straying away for today. But anyway, my name is Default, or unless you already knew that, just welcome back. And we got our goat, our fucking co-host, the man, the
Hey.
myth, the legend.
Hey, what's up, dude? I'm not even like, I was on a huge rant about the fucking SpongeBob movie. I love talking about this shit, so I'm hyped. This is gonna be exciting. We're
So
not talking about just the SpongeBob movie, by the way.
so we're talking movies today. I was in a movie mood, and I'll actually tell you why I was thinking about this. Right. So the other day, me and Sydney, which if you guys don't know, Sydney's my girlfriend. We were watching the new Puss in Boots movie, which, by the way, that movie was really good. That was a really good movie. Like, and I was just thinking, I'm like, I haven't really seen many like movies in a while now. Like, I haven't like gone and seen movies, or like, or at least I don't feel like I have. I feel like I've just been on like a TV show, like anime, like I've been watching a lot of not MasterChef, Kitchen Nightmares, watching a little bit of
Hey,
The Walking Dead, like I've been just watching like TV shows. I haven't watched like a movie in a good like hot second. And so I was just like, how about we just talk about movies for today? Like, or just like, I mean, we can talk about TV like shows too, but like, what about movies?
I think it's actually like a pretty interesting a pretty interesting point to kind of bring up is like I think it's just kind of how everything's been recently. Like movies have been on a rapid decline. Like look at even just Marvel too. Like they're like Disney in general. They're like shitting out all these like
Marvel's
six
fucking
episode
throwing, dude. Oh my
TV
god.
shows and all these just all these like just here's this show, here's that show, here's all this. And there's not really a lot of attention being paid to movies anymore. I mean, granted, like a movie will get you a couple views on your like a TV show is what gets you running on the subscription. Like we're kind of entering an era where movies are kind of becoming irrelevant. Like I maybe not totally, but like TV shows are kind of where everything's at.
They really kind of are. Which, like, that kind of sucks, too, because then you get shit like the shit that Marvel puts out. Like, fucking
I
She-Hulk.
was
That kind of, like, well, that was embarrassing, or, like, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that,
yeah,
the fucking, yeah, every superhero's like a comedian. Yeah, no, I'm
I
not
was
feeling that
okay with
shit.
Moon Knight. I don't think
No,
Moon
Moon
Knight was.
Knight's my favorite out of all of them. I love Moon Knight. Goated
Yeah, I
hero.
thought it was very like I recently had gotten into the Moon Knight like comics, like kind of reading them a little bit, and like I don't think it was a bad approach. It was definitely like the most like it was the most intelligent and well written Marvel thing I think I've seen since No Way Home. But like, yeah, dude, and the Star Wars shows, like the Obi-Wan show, it has two good episodes, but other than that, it's just like a mess.
I haven't
Like, I
watched
mean,
any of the Star Wars stuff, I'm gonna be honest with you.
that's understandable. I don't blame you, man. That shit's been so. The only thing worth watching in Star Wars is the Clone Wars. I will honestly tell that to anybody. It's just it's abysmal to say the least. But like, I mean that's kind of like, I mean I guess like at the end of the day, it's obvious that like streaming services is what like one streaming services and two the pandemic is overall what kind of caused the downfall of movies. But like, would you say that there was like a golden era of films, like in a section of time where movies were fucking fire, and then what would you say is like the timeline of movies when movies peaked and then we got into the decline into where we're at now, where there's like maybe like a handful of good films a year. What year or like film range would you say that
Fuck.
happened at?
Well, I mean, it depends on what kind of movies we're talking about. Because, I mean, if we're talking horror movies fucking peaked in, like, the fucking 80s and 70s and, like, even 90s. But, like,
Right.
if we're talking, like, like modern films, I don't know. I feel like I'd say, like, early 2000s to like maybe mid 2010s is probably where they peaked, to be honest with you. And then we started getting kind of shitty stuff. And not that we haven't gotten good stuff after that, of course, but like, I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of really good stuff in between that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I think I'm picking the way you're laying down. I think that I've got a bold claim because I would say that movies peaked in like a very I give it a very small time frame. I want to hang on. I want to confirm what year this is because I also just recently revisited this movie. Okay, yeah, I would say that movies as a whole died peaked in 2008 to 2010 and just started shitting after that in a very maybe 12. I'd maybe push it to 12 because there's a lot of good movies in like 2011 2012. But I recently rewatched the Dark Knights trilogy not that long ago, and like there was a time where every movie was like just as fucking good as that. Not even just I think that there was even some okay horror films around that time.
Bro, what about the Raimi trilogy though?
The Raimi trilogy, I mean, that was kind of the end of the era of the Raimi trilogy. First of all, I stand by Spider-Man 3 is way too overhated, and like
Spider-Man 3
yeah, no
is
shit,
good,
you can
though.
dude,
It's so good.
you like you compare any movie to Spider-Man 1 and 2, and the third one's I think Spider-Man 3 chain me up, lock me in prison, I don't care what you say. I think Spider-Man 3 is better than the first two Tom Holland movies. I will die on that hill.
No,
I think
I'd agree with you on that. Dude, fucking, what is the second one? It's not No Way Home. It's the Far From Home. Far From Home,
yeah.
Dude, that whole plot of that movie was so fucking predictable. It literally wasn't even funny. But maybe that's just because I already knew who Mysterio was before going into it.
He knows who Mysterio is, dude.
I'm the
so
knower,
shit.
dude. I was the knower in the audience. I'm like, oh, here it comes. He's gonna fucking get trolled by Mysterio.
Yeah, and
look what
the other
happens.
the other thing that's really annoying about it is I think that it could have like okay, there's two things that really annoyed me about that movie. The first one is that I love my favorite thing about Spider-Man is that he is like just a normal ass fucking dude that's beating the shit out of people who are tied to his world. It's one of the few things that I thought was okay about the first movie is like Vulture felt personal, and that's how a lot of Spider-Man villains are most of the time. Literally Mysterio was just some fucker that hated Tony Stark. I hate that. I don't want that. I'm not an Iron Man fan. I did not cry when he died. And like
Damn.
I don't I'm sorry. I don't think Iron Man is that great. I don't even think he had that fucking good of a story. Like, even in the context of Endgame, like, you can't just give somebody a family and expect me to be, like, you know, upset because he lost his family. I spent no time with him and Pepper. Like, what? A little bit in Iron Man 3 and a little bit in, like, you know, Iron Man 1 and 2, but, like, their relationship wasn't even really developing. They were just kind of bitching at each other the whole time. And then, like, 10 years passed since we got an Iron Man film and now they're married and like 5 years pass after the snap too and like I'm just like dude I'm sorry I just didn't care. I got way more out of Cap's ending with him and Peggy. I got way more out of that felt way more real to me. I don't know what it is about that portion of the story, but I did not give a shit about Iron Man and I continued to not give a shit about him after he died. I gotta lay that out there, man. Not a big Iron Man fan. I think he's a bitch.
Batman's better. Sorry, just saying it. Saying it as it is.
Dude, like, okay, you know what's crazy to me? Like, Cap Civil War was, like, literally a movie about Cap and Iron Man, and everyone was more, like, just way more fleshed out and way more enjoyable. I thought even Bucky was better in that film. Like, even Bucky was much cooler to follow. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always liked Batman more than I like Iron Man, even though they're kind of the same. Just rich people that have no powers.
Yeah.
Well, I guess rich is their superpower. They're just rich, but.
Yeah. So, did you see Robert Pattinson's Batman?
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on that movie?
So honestly, I already off the bat think he's just better than Ben Affleck's Batman. I just don't like
Agree
that
with
design
that.
of Batman. I think it looks gross, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know why, but I just don't like fucking what's his name's Batman. It's not for me. But like Robert Pattinson, honestly, just like I think he's a really good. I don't want to say super. Well, I guess he is an early Batman version because I don't know if they really say how long he's been Batman for in that movie or not. But I think
The oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Because it would answer my thing.
Oh, I was gonna say that that movie is based really heavily off of. See, now I'm actually Batman is. I wouldn't say that I'm a Batman fan as much as I'm a Red Hood fan, and so by association, I've read a lot of Batman comics. But that movie is based heavily around Year One and the Long Halloween, which is like a really early Batman, like a really early Batman. I mean, guess how long Batman in the comic Batman Year One has been Batman, guys. I
Okay,
bet you
then yeah.
can't get.
So yeah,
But
that kind of just goes for my point even more. Like, I just think he's a really good like early Batman. Like he gives us off like really like teen vibes of like I know he's not a teenager obviously, but like those early years of Batman, he's still getting his like footing in. He's like the one thing I just feel like is a little bit, I guess, unnecessary is like how he's just so like concealed or like he kind of just acts like an edgy motherfucker in public, like when he's Bruce Wayne. Like I don't know, I kind of like the Bruce Wayne kind of like from the Arkham games where he's just like he's like the local celebrity, he's like chilling. Like even the Lego Batman movie is like a pretty good Bruce Wayne. That was like probably my only thing. Like
yeah,
obviously like I like how he looks, but like if he kind of just presented himself more than just being like a random dude just like hiding in the audience of like a hoodie, like
yeah, I
that's my only issue with it. But besides that, I love him as Batman. I think he's a really good Batman. And I'm excited for when that second movie comes out because I think that first one was really good.
yeah, I actually no, this isn't. I'm not trying to like because I have a very because again I kind of have like I've read a lot of weird off Batman comics and stuff like that, like Year One, and I'm trying to remember what. There's another comic that it's based off of, but there's like a Batman. I think it's called Identity Crisis. And that throughout that series, Bruce Wayne is actually very, very similar to Robert Pattinson's Batman.
Oh really?
And his Bruce Wayne. So like there is interpretations of Batman that are like that. I just think it's not the norm because like the 90s cartoon Batman, like most of the time Batman is portrayed as like, like when he's Bruce Wayne, he's like very outgoing. He has a lot of charisma and stuff. I kind of enjoy I would say that I get more enjoyment from watching Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne than I get from watching Robert Pattinson's, but like I from a from the perspective of someone who understands what comic the director was basing it off of, or like kind of pulling his ideas from, I respected it, but I do think that I'm like I've seen versions of Bruce Wayne that are more enjoyable to see on screen. But like I respect it at the end of the day. I thought it was a cool
No,
kind of
I
callback.
like it too. I just think it's like different from what I'm used to when it comes to Bruce Wayne
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah, I think it would be nice if he starts to like kind of come out of his shell more. Like I think that would honestly make him one of the best Batmans if like he kind of develops more into a Bruce Wayne that's like that.
Which I mean, we still have time for because I'm pretty sure, like they said, the second one's gonna be coming out eventually. So maybe
Yeah.
that'll happen in the second one.
Yeah, I mean, it would be kind of cool to see like how like cuz if you haven't seen the movie when we start talking about a movie, just consider it a spoiler warning because I mean, I don't really know what to tell you. We're talking about a lot of films that aren't going to be out that long unless we drop some Puss in Boots spoilers.
Yeah, like I
Uh,
mean, if we're talking
I'm
about
kidding.
like movies that came out this year, like within like the last few months, I'll put spoilers on. But like these movies have been out for like a while, so I'm just not really doing it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen them, then like I don't know what to tell you, man. Just watch more movies or something. Most of these are like $5 at Walmart now, so like I don't know what to tell you. But like with Gotham City being in ruin at the end of it, um, I think that there's like some good there's some good directions, to go, and now that Gotham has to build back up, Bruce Wayne kind of becoming an icon could be a good way to kind of build Gotham back up. My only issue with Robert Pattinson's Batman movie was that I just thought that I kind of went into it with more of this could be a detective movie, and I feel like it would have been cool if you could have figured out what was going on from the outside. But there really wasn't. I don't really think that there was anything that happened in that movie that would indicate that the Riddler was going to flood Gotham, which is fine. I don't think it ruins the movie or anything like that, but I think that would have been cool. I would like a Batman movie where it's a detective-based thing, but the audience can kind of piece together how everything's going on. Kind of like how you also could have done that with AOT, but if you could have figured it, if anybody started reading Attack on Titan, picked up on the small details, and told me what was gonna happen, told me the truth of the AOT world, that I won't spoil, because if you haven't read AOT, read it now and challenge yourself on this and message me, because if somebody went to me and told me everything that happens post season 3 of AOT, the whole world building problem issue thingy, the bomb drop, if they told me that, they'd be the smartest person ever. But I want something like that in a Batman movie. That would be rad.
That would be pretty cool. Did you want to keep talking about superhero movies, or do you want to talk about other movies as well? Because we can keep talking about it, but I know we have a really long time yet until we're over here, but because I have a bunch of really good movies from the early 2010s I want to talk about.
Oh, let's bring them up. Which is we kind of wiggled from a 2008 to we started mid early 2000s and stuff like that. So we can jump to the early 2010s.
All right, so you want to hear the movie I want to talk about, because I think it's such a good movie, and I'm so glad that I got recommended it.
Fucking lay it on me.
Scott Pilgrim, dude. Scott Pilgrim is such a good movie. I don't know if you've ever watched it, but
I've actually never even heard of that.
You've never heard of Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Let me see. Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
I'm surprised. Wow, dude.
I've never even heard of this movie, no.
Dude, Scott Pilgrim is such a good movie, and I'm gonna try not to spoil it for you, but it is a really good movie. It's basically a comic book styled movie, and so it's got a bunch of really comic book-esque whips and quips and shit like that. So they'll do these quick transitions. They'll do the comic book style stuff. I don't know how to explain it all, but perfectly. But it's a really funny movie. It has a pretty good concept, I guess. I don't know. It's just it's a simple but funny one, I guess. Essentially, he meets this girl named Ramona Flowers, and before he can date her or anything, he basically has to fight off her 7 evil exes. And so he'll literally just be randomly out in public, and then just a random ex-boyfriend will just go and attack her. It's literally fucking JoJo's. I kid you not. He'll just be out in the middle of nowhere, and the story's just progressing. The one fight he kind of has is he's at this club and they're performing, and then all of a sudden this dude yells out in the crowd. He's like, "Scott Pilgrim!" And you just go to him, and you can just tell he's a fucking character. You can tell he's a fucking bad guy, right? He's got the whole fit on, and he's Scott Pilgrim just has to beat him in the most interesting ways, right? So I don't know, it gives me JoJo vibes. It's a fun movie. It came out in 2010. It's got a bunch of really interesting actors in it too. You got Michael Cera, who's he's Scott Pilgrim. You've got what's his name? The dude that plays Captain America.
Chris Evans.
Yeah, he plays the second ex-boyfriend.
Whoa.
Trying to think. Fucking what's his name? The Macaulay Culkin's brother. He's one of the main characters. You got what is her name? Brie Larson's in the movie, and she's actually good in the movie, surprisingly. Dude, rare Brie Larson W movie. It's such a good movie. I like it. It's it's a stylized movie. It's a funny movie. Like, I don't know. It's just we gotta watch it at some point. It is a very good movie. Like, whenever we hang out next time, like we gotta put that on. I think you'll like it. It's a pretty good movie. Um,
I'm all game.
but yeah, I I wish you would have. I wish I would have known you haven't watched it. But like, oh, dude, it is so good. Yeah, I think you'll like it.
I like the sound of it. I was kind of looking up screenshots of it, and I like the comic style that they use for it, and it led me into this loophole where I'm now like looking through all of the fucking movies that dropped in 2010. Dude, there are so many movies. Like, I forgot that this is like the era of like shit being overutilized and just there being so many remakes and sequels and
I think
just so much
I think
stuff during
Despicable Me came out
2010.
in 2010, if I'm right. Right or
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet scrolling through, but I think that this is also in order. Honestly, from what I've seen so far from the 2010 list, that like my favorite movie scrolling through that I've seen thus far is probably How to Train Your Dragon 1. But yeah, I mean, Iron Man 2 is in here, but I'm not a oof oof.
let's
Dude,
see.
remember when we got like one Marvel film a year? That was fucking crazy.
Dude, that was crazy. And now they put out like 20 Marvel things a year. It feels like.
Oh, dude, Avatar 1 came out in 2010. Oh no, that was just one of the re-releases. Can we can we talk about how that movie is not good? It's not bad, but it's that movie does not deserve to be like one of the top selling movies of all time. Like I
Wait,
get why it is.
what Avatar? Like, just
Avatar, like the blue people.
really? You don't think so?
Nah, dude. Oh my. Okay, hang on. Controversial take. There are two movies that came out in the same year, both in 2010, about a blue motherfucker. Let me tell you about a movie starring a blue motherfucker that's peak. Fucking
Megamind.
Megamind. That
Megamind is
movie
peak.
is a banger, dude. That movie's gas. Fucking
Megamind. Dude, Megamind is a really good movie. Like, but nope. Despicable Me said, "Yeah, no, we're gonna take over from here. We'll see you later, Megamind."
Dude, so unfortunate, dude. Oh, Tangled came out. I'd put Tangled above Avatar too. That's an easy W.
Avatar isn't like a. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a really long time. I think it is a really good looking movie. I don't
Yeah, but
know.
that's a thing.
I don't know how much I care about the plot because I haven't seen the movie in a while, so I don't even remember the plot of it, to be honest. But like, I don't know. I think the visuals are pretty good for its time.
I see. I will be one to agree with that in a heartbeat. I think that movie looks absolutely phenomenal, and I think anybody who says that it doesn't look phenomenal is probably tweaking.
Or they're a
But
bozo.
yeah, I think they're tweaking and they're a bozo. But I think that I think that how a movie looks is pretty much the last thing that I think about when I'm thinking about a good movie. Like that's kind of like one of those things that's like a bonus point category for me when talking about a movie. Except well, not how good it looks. It's not how good like the CG is and stuff like that, cuz CG is kind of a different category. But the only kind of like cinematic thing that I look at is dynamic camera angles and like good dynamic camera angles and action scenes that, to put in lack of a better terms, don't look like Man of Steel's, because whoever shoves the camera into the ear of the people while they're fighting just needs to be fired. I don't know who does that and why like everyone sucks at filming fights nowadays. Like I don't know what it is, but like there's just seriously been a problem with live action fighting where people just kind of suck at it, and I don't know what it is. And it's probably one of the biggest reasons why. And I don't know if this is going to be a hot take or not, but it's kind of why I look more to animated films when it comes to action, because I just think that in recent years, like live action movies just have not been able to get action sequences right, except for like the exception of like No Way Home Moon Knight in some situations, and Robert Pattinson's Batman. Like, I loved the angles when, like, remember that scene at the beginning when he's fighting the Joker goons, and like we just had this perspective of like some dude on the other side of the subway, just like, I mean, it probably wasn't that, but it just looked like you were like some dude on the other side of the subway tracks just watching Batman beat the shit out of all these people. I fucking loved that camera angle. That was such a cool angle.
That was a pretty good angle.
But like nowadays, it's just like most of the time, it's just like, oh, we're gonna shove the camera in their ear, guys. Okay, you'll get like a first person perspective or something. Like how the fuck does Dragon Ball show off like a first person fighting angle better than any live action movie? Like, I know that it's animation, so like it's quote unquote easier, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think that there's an excuse. Like, there's movies like from 30 years ago, like fucking Ben Affleck's Batman, Ben Affleck's Batman, Ben Affleck's Daredevil from fucking 2004 had decent looking uh choreographed fight scenes, but it's rough. A lot of these are rough.
I'm trying to see. I'm like looking at other movies from 2010. Yeah, there's Despicable Me. Oh, dude, ew! I forgot about this movie. That's fucking gross, dude.
Which movie?
Do you remember the Scooby-Doo movies that were like fucking Cartoon Network originals or whatever?
Oh yeah,
dude, those had to be some of the most vile fucking movies to come out. Like, oh my god, they look. Oh, dude, the casting is terrible. The fucking plot was honestly really mediocre and just not that great. Like, Scooby-Doo looks fucking gross. Like, oh my god. But if you want to talk about peak, though, we can talk about James Gunn's, Scooby-Doo, because he got it down right.
Dude, the live action ones from the early 2000s
with fucking Matthew Lillard, which, by the way,
sir.
Can we talk about the fucking casting on that one? Like, not only did he get Matthew Lillard, who was fucking Stu in Scream, but he also got what is his name? I think it's Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. And they were in I Know What You Did Last Summer, another fucking slasher. So he got these fucking people from horror movies, and he put them in Scooby-Doo. And they all fit their parts perfectly, dude. They fit perfectly. Scooby sounds good, and he looks alright. Or at least he looks a lot better than the fucking one in the other movie. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was like, pretty good. It holds up, I would say.
They hold up really good. I love those movies. I loved them as a kid, and I still love them now, because I literally watched them the other day, and they're still good. Like, and the other part is, they have, like, adult humor in them, too, so it's like, they do really hold up well. It's not just like it was good back then. Nah, it's still good.
Facts.
Oh man,
that's a dummy facts, dude. There was something about like kids movies, like back. I don't know, man. Kids movies used to have like this great fucking charm to them. I will say though, like late 1990s, early 2000s were peak kids movies. They just have not fucking done them the same.
Like, which ones are you thinking?
Oh, yes, sir! I'm thinking of the fucking SpongeBob movie, dude.
Dude, he is thinking of that. Dude, let him cook. Let him cook.
Oh, Okay, hold up. First off, I'm gonna start with the basics. One, the animation of that film for the time looks fucking phenomenal, and I will also stand by that SpongeBob having painted backgrounds is one of the most G things ever, and I fucking love. Like, think about this for an example. Family Guy is like, they're ongoing, and people shit on modern SpongeBob for being lazy and being all this fucking shit, whatever. I don't care. I'm not a huge modern SpongeBob defender, but like, this is a studio that definitely makes comparable amounts of money. Same thing with The Simpsons. And they digitally draw all their backgrounds, and they use like the same 5 areas. No, these guys at the Nickelodeon studios, Stefan Hillenburg had them paint like a bunch of different backgrounds, and there's like, I have to find the screen cap of this, and I might send this a default to go into like the video when I'm talking about this. But there's this screen cap from a season 1 episode of SpongeBob that like has like this fucking beautifully painted anchor, like disgustingly realistic. So like, one, I just gotta give them props for also maintaining that level of quality in the movie themselves. First off, they casted Scarlett Johansson for the fucking Princess Mindy. That's a banger. That's a banger right there. She did fucking great with the job. That's a great new
Was
role to
that
be added in.
that was actually Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's actually
dude, she
pretty
was in
cool.
SpongeBob before she was in fucking the Avengers or anything like that.
Oh, is this foreshadowing to your rant that might be coming up?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't
No,
know.
I haven't. Well, I don't know exactly what the foreshadowing you're talking about. I have not seen the Black Widow movie, so I
No,
don't.
I was talking about your rant that you were doing before the stream. If you were gonna do it again for the.
Oh, I don't remember what all of it is, but no, dude. I will just say as a summarized thought. First off, well, I will say again that this movie has maintained my number one movie for 15 years of my life. So from 2004 till till 2022. So that's actually 18 years. So probably longer than some of the people listening to this video have been alive. This has been my favorite fucking film until recently debunked. And I can't really talk too much about what movie that is, but we can talk about that when we get into like brand spanking new movies. But
I know what it is.
the SpongeBob movie has like not only like a great like I don't know I like it's a very quaint like theme. It's a very quaint thing to talk about in a kids movie that I think is important. That like growing up is an important thing. Accepting responsibility is an important thing, but letting go of who you are is a complete loss of all of that. That is a banger theme to talk about in a movie. It's a banger theme to talk about in a kids movie. And like even as an adult, that's like something that's a fun thing to like look at in right respect and be like, okay, you know what? It's okay to enjoy life every now and again. And all the like it's 2 hours of just banger jokes. Everyone lands. All of it is fucking great. Like there are probably more memes that are genuinely funny that spawn from that movie than like kind of anything ever. It's iconic for a good reason. Like it's one of those things that's popular not because it's just the thing that's popular, but because it genuinely deserves to be. It's a fucking great movie, great jokes, great theming for a kids movie. It's fucking flawless and it's peak second best movie of all time.
Damn, that's a lot for the SpongeBob movie. Holy cow! I
It's
haven't
well,
seen it in a
it's
while. I gotta watch it again.
no, it's definitely fucking worth it. I don't know if you'll agree with me. This is a lot of fucking nostalgia bias for me on that one, but
I
like
mean,
it's
from what I remember, it does sound pretty accurate. Because I remember the parts of them with the mustaches, but like,
hell yeah, dude.
I don't know. I don't remember much about the movie. I don't remember like, I just remember fucking Neptune or whatever the hell his name is. He pulls up, and Mindy pulls up, and then I don't know. Fucking Plankton takes over the Krabby Patty, or not the Krabby Patty. The fuck, the Krusty Krab, and then they're just going on an adventure for some reason. And then the fucking dude with the boot comes over.
Right.
I
Oh
don't.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't remember like everything. Like I don't remember the whole plot, like where they're going or anything.
Oh,
But
there's also a really good jab at like generic like Hollywood trying to pull your heartstrings for like cheap tears. There's like a jab at that, and I fucking love it too. That's a fucking like there's a really fucking good joke just like taking a full blown jab at Hollywood, and I love
wait,
it. I'm not
where
much
was
of a
that?
the part when I guess yeah, there's like this is like one of those movies that who gives a shit when you spoil it, but like the fucking scene like where SpongeBob and Patrick are like laid on the table with the lamp on them and they dry up, and then like the tear like lights the extension cord, and like all the pirates in the movie theater that they're watching the movie in are like crying because SpongeBob died and shit like that. And it's like
Oh, I
so
do
over
remember
dramatic and over.
that.
That's fucking great. That's just
I do
I
remember that
love
actually.
that kind of humor. That's great humor. That shit still gets a laugh out of me, and I've seen that movie so many times.
That is pretty good. I forgot all about that part with the pirates. I remember them burning up, but I don't remember the pirates being shown. That is pretty good. Oh
Yeah,
my
no, it's
god.
fucking great movie. Definitely worth the rewatch.
I'm trying to think. Oh, you know what movie? I have a movie to fucking talk about. It was a movie that I was so excited about, and it was complete fucking dog shit.
All right, spill
And
the tea.
I'll give you a hint. It's a DC movie.
That's not a good hint.
Uh,
That's most
okay.
DC movies.
That's true. That's true.
Oh,
It came out in
oh,
2016. I remember it
oh
exactly. And
no.
it was a movie that was supposed to be a fuck, what did the director call it? Uh he said it was supposed to be some kind of drama. Anyway, it was the Suicide Squad. I'll just get on with it.
Yeah,
The
no,
Suicide
you're
Squad,
talking about the Will Smith one, right?
that's Will
Right.
Smith one. Dude,
Oh man.
I remember seeing the trailers for that. I was literally at home. I saw that and I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so hyped for this." Like, I don't know what it was. Actually, no, I do know what it was. Um I was excited for it because around that time I saw the Batman Assault on Arkham, like it was basically the animation of like the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, banger
And
film by the way.
and like when I watched that, I'm like, holy shit, the Suicide Squad seems like such a fun and cool idea and like such a, I don't know, it just sounds like a really cool concept. And honestly, seeing it with like live action sounds really fucking hype. Like, I didn't really know much about the plot, but I'm like, damn, this looks like this will be a really fun movie. And you got Will Smith in it, and you got Harley Quinn. Like, I'm
Uh,
like, damn, this looks like it'll be such a good movie. And like, I remember every fucking day I would be watching the trailers. I'm like, oh yes, I can't wait to go see it. And then it came out, and I couldn't see it for a few weeks. I don't remember why, but I just didn't go see it for a while. And then eventually, I don't remember if I watched it on DVD or what I did. But I just remember going to see it, and I'm like, damn, that was a bit of a letdown. Like, dude, the fucking Suicide Squad was like, I was so excited for it, and then boom, burst in my bubble. Just
yeah.
Jared Leto Joker, fucking, fucking Will Smith. Oh, what were you,
Mo-
some kind of Suicide Squad? Like, dude, yeah, it's such a letdown of a movie. And then next thing you know, fucking, how many years later? Like 5 years later, James Gunn says, you know what? I think I'm gonna make another Suicide Squad movie. And you already
Bro
know
goes
James,
ham.
dude. And you know James Gunn. He cooks. We let him cook because of those fucking Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and of course the Scooby Doo movie.
Dude, James Gunn
Dropped
is a
such a
great
banger
director.
fucking movie. I was so excited for that movie.
And with, I would say, a less, like, at least in terms of like, he had less working with him too, because he had like the backup Suicide Squad to work with. Like, he had like a bunch of fucking no name DC villains,
Yeah,
and that
dude.
bro still cooked.
Dude, he still cooked, bro. Fucking like they said, yeah, no, you don't get Will Smith anymore. Instead, you get Idris Elba, which I mean, Idris Elba's a fucking W. Like
That's
my
true.
man,
Yeah,
my man
he had a
voiced
good acting
my
cast.
man voiced fucking Knuckles. He played the fucking
Yes,
dude in
sir.
Thor with the that like transports Thor. I forget his
Oh,
name.
Not Hohenheim. That's fucking Full Metal Alchemist.
Uh,
How, blah, blah. Yeah, we all know who we're talking about.
yeah, I know who you're talking about, but like, dude, he got this fucking W instead, and like, oh my god, like that whole story is so much more compelling than anything that even happened in the first Suicide Squad. Like, I fucking
Facts.
loved Suicide Squad 2022 or 2021. That was such a good movie. And the fucking like I don't know, I like you said, I like how they got a bunch of other random fucking villains that no one's ever heard of. Like, I mean, I've heard of like King Shark. Like, I knew who he was.
Yeah,
I knew who Ratcatcher was because I played Batman Arkham Asylum. There's like a little
yeah.
like thing you can
Little
find for
rat
him.
catcher mission. Yeah.
Like, but like all these other people that were on like the other Suicide Squad, the ones that they hyped up in the trailer, I didn't know who like barely any of them were. And also,
Yeah.
I also appreciate him killing off more of like the villains. Like,
Right.
I think it's cool that he brought them on, even though they were just to like get killed. Because in the last movie, it was like what fucking the one dude with the ropes died.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
That was it. That, as far as I remember, him, and the Enchantress were like the only ones that died.
Yeah, and
Like,
like again, the whole thing that I was talking about with like the SpongeBob movie shitting on like cheap tiers for Hollywood, like the whole thing, like, oh, in the original Suicide Squad, we're family now. I'll do anything for family, and like they've known each other for like five
oh yeah.
minutes.
Oh, the other fucking Diablo guy. He died
Yeah,
too. I forgot about him.
yeah,
But
fucking bozo.
I did. Oh my god, fucking
Oh,
Diablo, bro. But
dude,
then you get the second movie, and then you get an actual like. I feel like they fit more of as like a family than these fucking bozos in the first one, because of like the
yeah,
Ratcatcher and Bloodsport relationship. Like that was
Oh
so
yeah,
much better
that
than
was
the
so good.
fucking. That was so much better than anything in that first one. Like, it's not even a competition.
Oh, you know what did come out in 2016 though in terms of good superhero films, at least assuming that you've seen it?
What is it?
Deadpool. That's a great fucking
That is a
movie.
good movie. That was a fun watching experience too. I literally went with my fucking dad, and
Oh, base. I had to
dude,
sneak out of my house to see fucking Deadpool 1.
yeah, no, well, no. The reason I'm like kind of sitting there like is because there's a few scenes in there that are
Oh, oh.
yeah.
A little sneaky. Dude, you know what's really funny though? I was like my parents if this will give the audience a little sneak preview into my life. When I was looking at like the advertisements for that movie when my parents were making me go in to see God's Not Dead. If that's a little like a little summarization of my life, I had to that's one of those movies I had to sneak out and say that I didn't go see even though I definitely did go see it. That's a fucking banger of a movie right there, though.
Deadpool is a really good
Did,
movie.
dude,
That was a funny movie too.
did you see that Hugh Jackman and him are coming back for Deadpool 3?
I know. I'm excited to see that. Did I hope
That
they're not?
they can't ruin it.
They can't what?
They can't ruin it, man. They just can't. There's no way.
Dude, I hope they don't, cause like, isn't it gonna be like a Disney movie now too, technically? Or
Their hands
no?
aren't on it. Their hands are not on it. This is
Oh
the same thing
really?
as No Way Home. Their hands are not on it.
Oh, thank God, bro.
Ryan Reynolds literally said that I will not return as Deadpool if Disney has any say in the movie.
Dude, what did Ryan Reynolds W, bro?
Dude, I fucking love him so much. He is such a king.
Dude,
He's such a king.
Free Guy. That's another pretty good movie. I actually really liked Free Guy. Now that we're talking about Ryan Reynolds, like I know we're
Oh,
going from movie to movie, but that's all right, dude. Like Free Guy. Did you watch Free Guy?
oh yeah. I've seen Free Guy. That's a W film.
That
I've
is a
seen.
pretty good movie, and I was a little bit worried
There's a
because
lot of. Oh god.
I was a little bit worried because like it's one of those video game movies, and sometimes they really just like fuck up video games movies for some reason. I don't know why,
Oh,
but like.
but Steve is in it.
But nah, dude, it's a good movie. You got Ryan Reynolds. You got Steven, the goat from fucking
The
Stranger
goat.
Things. Joe Keery.
I hate to jump around even more, but tell me why Spree was one of Joe Keery's best performances of all fucking time.
That was an amazing movie. If you
Oh,
guys don't know what Spree is, please go watch it. It's
look
one
it
of the
up right
best
now.
slashers. It's such a funny movie. It's so fucking good. It's
That's it's
it's kind of like the it kind of gives off American Psycho vibes.
I was literally gonna say if you're a fan of American Psycho, like it's a very similar level of comedy because like throughout all of American Psycho, I was like thinking to myself, am I supposed to be laughing? And the answer is I don't know. No one knows. But that's what makes it so fucking good. And it's the same thing with Spree. Like, nobody can actually tell you if we're supposed to be laughing or not, or if you're supposed to feel sorry for the guy, or if you're supposed to feel horrified. There's like so many different ways you can feel about the movie. It's phenomenal. They like really like kind of crank up the tension to a 1000 in such a great way.
Yeah, I really like Spree. I think it's a pretty funny slasher. It's a pretty good one. It's got, like I said, Steven kind of carries that movie.
True.
I don't know. I also just like the concept of it. I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I mean, you also got to think like he like when we say like he carries that movie, it's not because like nobody else gives good performances. Like there are like 10-15 minute sections of that movie where it's just kind of him, and it's still entertaining. Just watching him like just be by himself. I don't know if I've ever been like that entertained by a single character being so secluded in an area or just being by himself. It is very interesting and very good. It's a fantastic performance. He's one of the most underrated actors of our generation, I think.
He is a dude. He's such a good fucking actor. I hope he gets more like lead roles like that because he honestly deserves them. He does so fucking good on any of his roles. I feel like he does, to be honest.
I agree with that.
We could Yeah, I don't know. Do we want to talk about American Psycho?
I think surely we should do a full blown digest of that movie with Chobble.
That'd be a pretty good episode.
That'd be a banger episode. I could definitely, there's like so much to unpack with that movie. I could definitely see us bringing, and it gives us an excuse to bring back Mr. Chobble himself.
I think that'd be a good follow up episode of him. I'd totally be down with that.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
let's see. I'm trying to think.
What about I think this might be a good might be because I also don't know how many you've seen, but kind of a good way to kind of not necessarily wrap up, but a good way because we're kind of branching back into modern films here, and so what are you thinking about anime films?
So, I honestly haven't seen too many anime films, to be honest with you.
Oh, for real?
I honestly have not. No.
Which ones? I'm guessing you've seen Mugen Train.
Oh, that's like it. That's like the only anime movie I can think of that I watched because I was struggling to think that. I'm like, fuck, have I even seen any? But
Oh, Zam. We
Mugen
may have to hold off on that one. We may have to hold off on that one a little bit then.
Mugen Train was really good though. That was a really good movie. For like not only just like I really like how Demon Slayer kind of made that like an actual canon movie. Like instead of like having to watch the episodes, they just said, yeah, no, we'll just do this whole arc and put it in a movie. Like I felt that was a really good idea. Just because then it gets people to watch the movie, go out to the theaters, go see it. Also, just a W because you get to see it in like a huge fucking screen instead of like a whatever you watch it at home on. But
Yeah.
I actually really did like Mugen Train. That was a I kind of wish I did get to go see it in the theaters when it came out, but I wasn't really
Yeah.
like watching Demon Slayer or like reading or anything at the time, so I don't think I can go see it because I wasn't even caught up either. But
Yeah. I would say that Mugen Train is like uh, I think that I want to make sure that I'm giving my credits to the actual writer here and like not to, Ufotable. Not to not give credit to Ufotable because that has got to be one of the most fucking gorgeous movies of all time. Like that is wonderful, like wonderful animation all throughout. Everything feels like very scenic and also just like all the moments like inside their heads and shit like that, like they all feel vastly different and they all have like different vibes and they're dude, there's so much right with that movie. And there's also just like the right amount of comedy as well. And again, that's all Georgia's like writing and influence, like that's all her. So, like, I want to make sure that everyone knows that I'm giving credits to her for the writing. Like, Ufotable gets all the credit for how good it looks because, no offense, she's an awful artist. At least she was. Well, not awful, but, like, she had a lot of improvement to be made. And so Ufotable just kind of kicked up the notches. And it's just a good looking movie. And not to mention, like, I don't know if I could think of there wasn't really a point in One Piece. Like I'll even say this for One Piece. There wasn't a point where I was watching the anime and like I cannot say that besides some a special exception that if there was a movie like if there was a movie of Marineford then I would have totally picked up the manga and finished it after that. But like when I finished Mugen Train, I read the rest of Demon Slayer. I had to get more content of it because that movie was fucking phenomenal. And like nothing else, no anime has ever gotten me so invested in it that I just picked up the manga and did it. I actually only switched over to the One Piece manga because the One Piece anime was way too slow for me and was doing way too much flashback shenanigans.
they do kind of do that a lot in One Piece now that I think about it.
Yeah, which it's not a bad thing. It just I am one of those people who I think that One Piece isn't the best anime, but it is one of the best manga because I just think the anime is way too weirdly paced. But if we ever got a modernly paced One Piece, it would be fucking overpowered. And if it looked like all of Wano too, if we got all of One Piece animated like Wano, properly paced, first of all, Marineford would be dangerous. like that would probably be unequivocally the best arc in fiction, the best anything in fiction if that got proper animation.
Bro,
Actually, that
what about Ennie's Lobby and Water 7? Because I mean, especially Water 7, dude. The fucking environment of Water 7 is so fucking beautiful. Like
that's true. That's true.
that would be a really good arc to also get like animated like that. That would destroy shit too.
Yeah, I'm just saying, talking about how dynamic a lot of the action, like a
Oh
lot
well,
of
yeah,
the action
no.
pieces have gotten, and like there'd definitely be a lot of scenic stuff. Like water, like Marineford definitely isn't the most like insane or interesting looking landmark, but I would just say that like how the fight would be paced throughout, it would just be a force to be reckoned with, considering there's not really ever a dull moment in Marineford. There's always something fascinating going on, and I feel like they could have just like, if they had the chance to pace it right, then it'd be dangerous. It'd be very fucking, same with Impel Down. Impel Down would be dangerous if they were able to pace that like to their liking and not have to have like a schedule for it. Dude, imagine getting to see Bon Clay the goat in Wano animation.
I hope one day we do get to see that because that'd be amazing. I would totally be down to
Absolutely.
see that.
Honestly, I think that I'm gonna have to show you like some of the like I own most of the One Piece films, so I'll have to have you like come over and watch like one or two of them, because they're all pretty phenomenal. I think actually they're the most recent five have all been like oversawn by Oda, and like he's had full responsibility in the way they've been written and handled.
I want to see One Piece Gold. That one sounds pretty good. Film
Oh,
Gold.
that's my favorite one besides a specific One Piece film, which we will also still get into later, because we could also talk. Well, we could either talk more, um, uh, Mugen Train, or well, actually, did you hear about how the Upper Moon meeting is actually going to be in theaters? Like that is going to be like an hour-long special going into theaters in like March for Demon
Really?
Slayer.
How do they
Yeah,
make an
the
hour long movie about the Upper Moon meeting?
it's a very long meeting.
Oh, really?
It's a very long meeting. That is all I will say. There's a lot of shit that happens in
Wait,
that meeting.
are you talking about like after Entertainment District?
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it was that long from what I remember because I got past that.
Oh, did you read?
Yeah, I read like the last part I remember reading was like up to where Tokido's being a little fucking bitch and he's like
True.
teasing Tanjiro with a doll or whatever. I don't remember what it was, but anyway, yeah, no, like that's I've gotten past that.
Okay. Maybe I think I'll have to like open.
I don't know,
I'll have to.
maybe I don't remember it that well because like I said, it's been a while since I read that. I don't know. I want to get the manga and just read that because I know it's been like cheap on Amazon, and that's what I was gonna
Right.
do. I was just gonna read it once I had all the books, but like, yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, something that I'm thinking that they might be doing with this is because so the meeting with the Upper Moons is, oh, it's actually a little later in the story than I thought. Because I think it's around half of a volume. So they might just be doing like some of the demons like backstory and stuff like that too. I know that the reveal of a Mr. Uh fucking upper one guy, they might make like a little bit of a big deal out of that and stuff. So, but it's kind of hard to tell. Like, it's hard to tell like what exactly they're gonna do. I know that it's a pretty large portion. Um, but I hope they don't make it too much filler. But to be fair, there is also a lot of filler in Mugen Train, and a lot of it's good filler. Like just kind of little snippets of thing, like um the part when Rengoku attacks the demon in the cart. There's only one of them, but in the movie there's two. But like both feel very natural and they feel very normal. And then there's also the portion where like the chick goes to stab Rengoku's orb and he like fucking strangles her. I just don't think that they ever like address Rengoku's orb in the manga. I could be totally tripping, but I'm pretty sure that's like not a thing. But it's also very base to see Rengoku just almost fucking kill a child. It's very based of him.
Very
But
based.
base Rengoku kills children. And I think that the guy having tuberculosis was also filler. But I think he was just kind of touched that, like, a kid literally, like, a kid's soul led the dude to killing him, and it was like, oh shit, this guy's kind of epic, kind of very epic Lamau Pog gaming or whatever they would call them back then. Oh, and I think I don't know. There's another part of it too that's totally made. Oh, Zenitsu and Inosuke's dreams are also not in it at all. Those are totally fake. Those never actually fucking happen.
Oh, the
Like,
ones that are in the Mugen Train movie.
yeah, the not the part where he's like, they're doing like the little like expedition cave team thing. That's in there. But like the hedge clipper thing and the boar spirit and Zenny and Inosuke, like that, those scenes of them like chasing down those two, those aren't in it. I think
Oh,
those are just
okay.
pace breakers added in for the movie. I don't think that those are actually in the manga. It's been a while since I've read the manga, but I'm pretty sure there's like a lot of filler in that movie. But like, again, it's good filler. Like, it's not bad filler. It's very natural, and it's either it has like a comedic purpose, or it like it either has a comedic purpose or it has like a story purpose. So I trust Ufotable. They're a pretty good company. Like they don't kind of just fuck around and do shit. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just kind of have to see what happens. I think it's one of those things that, like, if it's near enough, I'd probably go and see it in theaters, but, like, I'm not going to go out of my way to do it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But have you seen any of the My Hero movies, Default?
Nah, I haven't watched
You
any of
like
that.
My Hero?
I haven't touched My Hero in a very long time.
L. Major L alert. No, I'm just kidding. I get it. Like I'm on the side where like I'm like, okay guys, I get it. It's funny. Don't like My Hero, haha. Now read Dobby. Read more Dobby. Read about Dobby. Dobby's
Like, I
amazing.
don't know. I'm interested in like the villain shit about that, but I just don't care about the heroes. I think they're boring. I don't really care
Damn.
about them, to be honest.
Damn, bro saw Hawks and was like, oh.
I mean, Hawks looks cool. Don't get me wrong. Hawks looks kind of cool, but like, I don't know. I don't know
Damn,
how to
bro.
explain it. Like, I just kind of lost interest after that whole overhaul arc.
Understandable. I mean, I think Lemellion's a goat as well, but I mean, I get that like a fan base being shitty and also just kind of like there's a lot of cringe involved around with the story itself and the fan base, and so like I guess that I get why people are like, no thanks. Like I never actually like shit on someone for not reading My Hero, because I understand, because it's a very cringy story. I will be upfront and honest. It is very fucking cringy at sometimes.
You know what's
But like,
crazy too? Sorry to cut you off, but like,
very good.
I literally remember back in 10th grade, this one dude that was in my class, like he's like, dude, I've got one of the best like animes or mangas that are coming out recently to like recommend you. He's like My Hero Academia is actually so fucking good. And I'm like, dude, I gotta watch this. That sounds interesting. And I actually did really like it at the time. It was before the fucking cringe fan base shit. I actually really enjoyed it, even though it was like literally just the first and like maybe second season. Like, My Hero back then was like, even though it was a really short anime, at least for the most part, and like there wasn't too much happening in like the training academy like arc, I guess you could call it. I don't know what it was actually called, but I did
Wait,
really enjoy it back then, and I love the fucking first opening. Like that shit was so peak. I enjoyed that a
true.
lot. But then like I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it really is the fans that just kind of ruined it or what. But like I don't know. I didn't really. I just kind of lost my interest. I just
In
don't.
the
I don't care for the main three like heroes. I guess you could say. I mean, obviously, I like All Might, but like Ochako, Bakugo, and Deku, I just don't care for. To be honest, for you, like, I don't know what it is.
in the first like 5 pages of the manga, Bakugo tells Deku to seppuku himself, which is very funny, I think.
Like, I don't know. I just don't. I don't care for him.
Nah, I get it. I think Bakugo gets a lot better like over time.
I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
believe that because I mean, I remember what you told me at Hershey Park the one time with what happens with him.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, no, he I think he gets a lot better. I think he gets more interesting and like starts to feel more like a human being rather than like a bitch who just yells at people.
Yeah,
And
look, guys,
like,
I'm screaming. Do you guys like me now? I'm funny. I yell. That's me. I'm Bakugo. Like me. I'm an asshole. Like, yeah,
yeah, just like he's just a less charming Inosuke.
yeah, dude. He's literally just a less charming Inosuke. I mean, his power's cool. I really like
Yeah,
his power. I think it's a really unique power. Like the sweat gland, like is like
yeah.
explosive. Like I think that's really unique. But just his character just kind of just turns me off, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I completely agree with that. I think that Uravity gets better as well. I actually never really had a problem with her. I never had like she's one of those characters that like it's just like when she's on screen, I get that she's there, but like at the same time, like I also cannot stand when the writer like attempt like every manga slash anime does it in Japan. I get it, it's a cultural thing, but like with My Hero, it's so prevalent because most of the cast is minors that like it makes me like a lot of the female main characters less because he's in my face with sexualizing them. And I'm like, dude, I get it. In Japan, this is normal for you guys. But like, I would love it for one time a writer to kind of get that there's an American audience and that like that's just no bueno. That's just not no. Stop. Delete this.
Hey man,
I'm also like
at least
I'm
EDP's
one
enjoying it, bro.
huh?
I said at least EDP's enjoying it, bro.
Oh, oh. Woo! It's showtime. But no, dude, like I I'm also like this is going to sound really weird, but I solely vibe with fan service for the meme of it. Like it's there's I think it's funny sometimes if that makes sense. Like I think it's funny to joke about fan service, but like I'm not the kind of guy that reads something, sees fan service and is just like oh yes, I now love this piece of fiction even more. Like I could go on a rant. Like, okay, here's a great example. Boa Hancock and Nami are like objectively the we're supposed to be sexy, we're the hot people, we're the all that. Robin is just objectively better than them. Just fucking objectively better. And I could go on it for hours. Now, Robin does get fan service and Robin does get shit like that, but that is nothing to do with why I like her whatsoever. She's just a fucking great character.
Yeah, I honestly thought that's why, like, before getting the One Piece, I honestly thought that's why people like Robin. I literally thought it was just because fan service.
Yeah, like, and like she's, I would say she's probably the one with the least amount of fan service. Probably not between her and Boa. Boa probably has less just because like she's on the screen less, she's around less, so like there's not a lot of her in terms of fan service. But like for how much she is there and how much she does get, like Robin doesn't really get stuff like that much. The only time that it really happens is like Oda's cover art and movies and shit like that. But like there really isn't that much. Like unless you count her return to Sabati outfit as fan service, which like I don't know, man. I don't really think that I would say that's like pushing it. If you
Yeah.
think that's fan service, that's pushing it. That's just like a revealing outfit. That's kind of all that
No way,
is.
guys. Women can have their boobs out and it doesn't count as fan service? No way. Like,
We cry. No way, guys.
dude, okay, but fucking Nami, though, bro. Like, Nami gets fan service to all fucking hell, bro. I literally remember being kind of like. I know it's like supposed to be like haha funny, but like I literally remember watching fucking Alabasta and literally they had to like progress to like get to actual like the capital of Alabasta with the fucking animals. They're like, oh yeah, look at Nami, she's so hot or whatever. Like they had to use Nami to like get across. Like I don't know, I thought it was just
Like
like
the crab thing.
yeah,
They
with
had to
like
like pull her
I,
boobs out, and like
I'm
the
like
crab got horny and ran
I'm like
faster or
I'm like
something.
bro, what is this? Like I thought that shit was really fucking kind of like weird and corny, but like I mean I get it, haha, funny, like something that's not,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of that, but it's not like it's
No.
the end of the world, to be honest.
Yeah, no. I get it. Like that's the kind of like one Oda has definitely made that kind of humor a lot less important.
I know, and I'm kind of glad because I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest.
That's very fairy tale-esque humor, and I'm glad Oda decided to branch away from it. Oh, dude, hang on. Before we continue any further, I had this guy have the audacity. This dude pulls up to me. He sees my Dragon Ball tattoo, and we start talking about anime and stuff like that. He's like, "Oh, you seen One Piece? Fully caught up, great." And he's like, and I asked him favorite Straw Hat. He's like, definitely Luffy. I'm like, all right, base. I'm like, stereotypical, but fair, balanced, based. One of those answers that I'm like, yeah, no fucking shit. Your favorite Straw Hat's Luffy. He's not mine, but I get it. And then he's like, oh, but we all know who the least favorite Straw Hat is.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, all right. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I get it. You're probably gonna say Chopper, but I'm like, personally,
I
think it's
gonna
not.
say Sanji.
No. But no. Well, I said you're probably gonna say Chopper, and I get it. I still love Chopper despite what happened to him post time skip. He's still my goat. He's still my boy. And like, judging Chopper as a mascot, he's a fucking banger mascot. He's a banger fucking mascot. But like, I get it. Compared to what he was, I get why people would be disappointed. And I'm on this whole rant, and I'm like, but I think Nami's the worst. I don't have a problem with her. I just don't think they've done a lot with her post time skip. And like, Arlong Park was really the only thing that I can like look back and be like, I enjoyed Nami in this arc. And he's like, oh no, worst Straw Hat is Usopp. And I'm like,
Oh, he's
bro,
corny. He's corny. He's corny.
I'm like, bro, did not. I'm like, I literally asked him, I'm like, dude, why? He's like, because he's just lying all the time. And I'm like, no.
Bro, that's what makes him funny.
Leave.
I like
Leave.
Usopp because he lies. I think that's funny.
Dude, it's that. And like, dude, I don't know what it is, but like, so my wife's been, she's on post Marineford, like post war stuff, and like, dude, the fucking shit with Usopp and Herculean is fucking so fucking funny, dude. That shit is hilarious.
Usoppin, what are you doing, Usoppin?
Dude, that shit always gets a kick out of me so much, dude. I love that portion, but I also love that Usopp is like one of the two, like, or okay, like one of the three Straw Hats with like a fucking brain and like clutches. Usopp, Sanji, and Robin clutch up the crew so hard. Like sure, they'd be dead without Luffy because Luffy's the big beat 'em up guy. Same thing with Zoro and shit like that. But those three are the clutch kings and queen. They are crazy. Like, Dressrosa, nah, Usopp saved the day. Usopp clutched that up. Also, not to mention, Usopp was the first person to say Luffy would be the Pirate King. So, like, I don't know, man.
Oh, also, we should probably get off our One Piece tangent because I just realized we're still in the podcast episode about TV shows, and well, I guess we still technically are talking about TV shows, but
oh, you want me to talk about a movie? You want me to talk about the best movie? Okay, I won't spoil anything. I won't spoil anything.
Oh yeah, that's right. Let's hear it about the best movie.
All right, gents. All right, ladies. Everybody here. The absolute best motion picture of all time is One Piece Red. Now, I mean, like, I've kind of hinted at this enough. I mean, I've talked about, like, One Piece, and I was like, oh, we'll talk about it later, stuff like that. I mean, there was a movie that came out last year, and, like, I think I only saw two. I mean, not that anyone would know this, but I've also only seen two movies in theaters last year, that being one of them. But
what was the other one?
I remember going to the theaters, but I honest to God forget what movie it was to go see. I'd have to look up a list.
Was it
but
Doctor
I remember,
Strange?
I don't think it was Doctor Strange. I might have honestly seen the No Way Home re-release. I need to look up what the other movies that came out in 2022 is, but that sounds like something that I would do. No, it wasn't Black Adam. Shit, what was it?
Do you think it was a Marvel movie or no?
Oh, it was Batman.
Oh, I was gonna say, was it Batman? That was literally the next guess.
Okay, so yeah, it was Batman. So yeah, those are the two movies I saw in theaters. And so so first off, if you're not a One Piece fan, I'm not gonna spoil anything like that for you. So I'm just
Yes.
gonna get into why I think that this movie is so good. First of all, there's a lot of people that I know that hate the movie because there's way too much music. Like, there's way too much music in the movie. It has a literal, like, audible with singing soundtrack that is as long as The Greatest Showman's in terms of song amount of songs and length in songs. Now, granted, in the actual movie itself, they use shortened down like 1 to 2 minute versions of the songs. But you need to go into this thinking UTA is the Japanese word for sing. That is Uda's name. She has the sing sing fruit. What the fuck did you expect? So like if you don't like musicals and that's why you don't like the movie, I get it. That's it. Musicals aren't for everybody. I still wouldn't inherently call One Piece film Red a musical. I would say that it's a One Piece film with music aspects, but like I mean, with Brooke being in the series, like that's one thing that I love about it. This movie explains why having a musician on the crew was so important to Luffy. Whether or not any of this was planned, I don't know and I don't care, but having that being contextualized is nice and it's something that is genuinely heartwarming at multiple points. It's one of those movies that increasingly gets better the more that I watch it. Every time I watch it, I find out new things about it and new subtle details about the movie that I didn't pick up on before. Oda kind of sneaks in the entire plot bit by bit, and it works so well. I think that the cast that he picked for the movie is very small, and it works very well. I think another problem that people generally have is the Straw Hats feel very, how I'd like to say, unimportant, but I'm okay with that because the movie feels like it's supposed to be about Luffy, and I think that's probably the movie's strongest point of action. The whole purpose of the movie and the whole purpose of One Piece too is freedom and like what does it mean to be free and what is the price of freedom? And I think that that movie covers that topic like disgustingly well to a T. And I think that we also get just enough of Shanks that we don't get anything spoiled and like we don't know too much about him, but we got like just that nice little bit that Oda like it was kind of like Oda's way of saying like, "Hey, you've been waiting a long time for this. This is why." And so getting to see that little bit of Shanks and his crew was very satisfying and gets me very excited for what's to come. So, if you're a One Piece fan and you're at least Whole Cake Island, I would recommend watching this. You might, if you have an eagle eye, you will get spoiled for manga events. I would really recommend someone be caught up to the manga and then read this. But like, if you watch it, if you just sit back and watch it and you're on Whole Cake, you should be okay. But you need to at least have been on Whole Cake. Um, but it's non-canon, and so it doesn't really have as much weight as like Mugen Train does. But I think that the themes that it has tying into the film. So one, that was a huge bias that this film always had for me anyway. It's a One Piece movie, and like most of my top 10 films are One Piece movies. I think like 4 of my top 10 films are One Piece movies. It's either 3 or 4. It fluctuates. Depends on what day you ask me. But this movie genuinely has like just some of the best theming, and it kind of like I would say that this film, if you like it or don't like it, it kind of is what tells the difference between the people who watch One Piece for its comedy and fight scenes or and the difference between people who like One Piece because of what this story is about itself. And so like that's kind of where if you like One Piece because of its story and theming, you're going to love Red. But if you like One Piece for its action and its comedy, Stampede will probably be your favorite One Piece movie. And so I don't think that there's like a wrong option, and I can get why both are like some of people's favorite movies. I'm not a big Stampede guy because I think that there are other animes that shit on One Piece when it comes to action. Maybe not comedy, but definitely action. I think JoJo peaks in action, but that's another take for another time. But like there's something very touching about the movie, and not to mention, this will be my last thing about it. It covers a theme in an entire arc, something that an entire arc of Naruto tries to do in 20 volumes.
Ooh,
And Oda does it better in an hour and a half movie. So that's probably the best thing about the movie too. Like it, and I liked this portion of Naruto, like this theme and idea in Naruto. It does it fucking better in an hour and a half. which
That's
is nuts in
crazy.
my opinion. So that's my spoiler-free synopsis. It's a fucking good movie, and I think it's worth watching all of One Piece just to watch the movie. It's also just worth watching all of One Piece, but
So I have an idea before we wrap it up here. You want to hear my idea?
all right, let's hear it.
I want to hear your most hyped up movie for this year, and why.
Like that I think is gonna be good, or that I think is gonna suck.
We could do both.
All right, I need to look this up. Okay.
Cause I know what movie I'm probably the most excited for.
Okay, this is.
We might
See,
have a similar answer, to be honest.
there's a really difficult problem because I know, and I'm about to get on another tangent here, but I know that I am being nostalgia cucked so hard because I know that there's one fucking person that knows what I'm talking about. But when I saw Spider-Man Unlimited in that fucking Spider-Verse poster, I popped the fuck off. One of the best costumes and one of the most underrated. Hang on, Default. I gotta fucking show you this shit. Dude, this is like literally the best Spider-Man costume ever. I'm not capping on you. The show, I get why people don't like it. It's weird and it's cringy, but like it's fucking good. But Into the Spider-Verse is probably the movie that I'm the most excited for. Or Across the Spider-Verse. But oh, dude, I'm probably
That's
being
what I was gonna
nostalgia
say
baited.
too. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I'm probably being nostalgia baited heavily by this, but hang on, I'm sending you a screenshot of it right now, or maybe I am, I don't know.
Oh shit! The Mario movie comes out this year too.
Yeah, that was another one I was thinking, but yeah, that fucking Spider-Man costume goes hard as fuck. The
Oh,
cape,
that
the
one.
fucking that is my favorite Spider-Man costume.
Oh, I thought you were talking about that one that what is it? I thought you were gonna say about the one that like is from the one TV show.
Oh, the Spectacular Spider-Man.
That one's a pretty good one too. I'm excited.
That is a good one, but no, that's my favorite Spider-Man costume. I fucking love the I love the cape. I love the colorization and everything. It's fucking perfect. Not to mention the original show had like a really unique art style for the 90s. It was very colorful. It was a very unique color palette that they used. Like it almost looked like the whole show looked like it was being like, you know those like neon lights that
Yeah.
people like hang up. The whole show looked like it had like that in the background. I don't know how to describe it, but like everything was so like saturated to a satisfying amount, and it just looked so crisp for like a 90s TV show. But I don't know, dude. A movie that I think doesn't look good. I'd have to like. That's definitely my most excited one, but
The one.
least excited.
See, I have one that I don't want to say I'm least excited for, but I'm a little bit nervous about. And
Oh, hit me up.
that's the Ant-Man and the Wasp one, bro. That movie's either going to be really good or it's going to be really fucking not good. Because this is the movie that has to set up, like, the next big thing for the MCU. Like,
Right.
because this one's the one that's going to have King the Conqueror in it. And, like, also MODOK is in it. I don't know if you saw that, but...
Yeah, looked a little cheesy, but whatever.
So, like, I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous about this one. I don't know if I'm going to actually go see it or not, but, like...
Oh,
I'm a bit nervous about it. I don't really care about Shazam, to be honest. I never
I
really
agree.
watched Shazam. I
I
just
don't
think
who
it's
cares.
yeah, he's kind of just whatever. But
Ye-
you know what else is gonna be kind of a W?
Huh?
John Wick 4,
Yes, sir.
Scream 6,
Dude,
Dude,
screams. Am I the
Evil.
only
Okay,
like dead ass hyped about the Mario movie too? Like
the
I'm
Mario
going
movie too. Or that's what I was about to say. The Mario movie. The one. Okay, here's another one I'm a little bit iffy about. Evil Dead Rise, because I'm a little bit interested to see what they're gonna do with this movie. I don't know. Evil Dead.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't know. Is Ben Campbell in it?
it says it's starring Alyssa Sutherland, Lily Sullivan, Gabrielle Eccles, Morgan Davies, and Neil Fisher. So I don't think so.
Damn. Okay, you want to know? You want to know what I actually think is going to be worse than Ant-Man and Wasp? Guaranteed.
What?
The Marvels.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be worse, guaranteed. I'm willing to bet my life on it. And I'm also willing to bet my life that Kraven the Hunter is either going to be the shittiest Marvel movie of all time or the one of the best. And there's just no in between. I don't know how to describe it, but like Kraven is a very weird character to
I
put a
didn't even
movie
know that was
around.
coming out this year. What?
I didn't either, and that makes me more excited about it.
Oh, wait. Oh no. Oh
Oh
no.
no, what's going on with it?
It's a fucking Andrew Garfield one. Or it's like in the same universe as that. Fuck, bro.
Really?
Oh no, this could be another Morbius. That's me a little bit. That has me a bit
Morbid
worried.
Dime.
That is
Written
not.
by Okay, hold up. It's what Steve Ditko is helping write this. He is the like one of the fucking makers of Spider-Man.
Okay. That makes me feel a bit more better about it, but I don't know. I'm still a little bit scared to be honest with you.
J.C. Chandor, I'd have to look into what he's done before. He's the director though, so he's a pretty young guy. Well, he's not that young, but what is he?
Oh
He's a
yeah.
no guy. He's like done nothing. That's cool.
Oh yeah. There's another. What is it called? Another Hunger Games movie. Oh, you know what? Actually, no. You know what?
Pretty
I think
cool.
I made up my mind. I think I know what the. I'd have to say is the worst one.
Huh.
Fucking Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom
Oh yeah,
because
true,
I
true.
said yeah, no, we have a literal fucking abuser on our team, but we're not gonna replace her actor. We don't care. We'll just leave her on.
Yeah, no, that movie's gonna suck.
Yeah,
The movie's literally gonna suck, and I'm not gonna watch it.
I feel bad for Jason Momoa, but like, and like all the other people that literally have nothing to do with it, but like, James Wan,
I'm
L, fucking Amber Heard, L, like, bro, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, dude, DC is just fucking just been just awful. I don't know what they've been on. I mean, Flash could be good. Maybe I don't
I don't
know. Urs
know if,
Miller's also kind of been sus.
yeah, no, he's got his, or I should say they, I don't, whatever the fuck, but like, yeah, I don't know. Ezra Miller's got some weird shit going on, like.
I didn't realize Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was coming out
Yeah,
soon
that's
too.
what I was gonna say. Guardians of the Galaxy, like, I don't know. I might have to go to the theaters this year. Like, if all these banger movies, all these things that actually pique my interest, like, I don't know. I might have to go see a lot of these.
Yeah. I just know that my two hype movies are going to be Into the Spider-Verse. I'm trying really hard to not expect too much from that movie. Like I feel like there's going to be a very unrealistic expectation for that movie. And I'm calling it now. The Panda said it first. There's going to be a wave of people who are going to shit on that movie because their favorite Spider-Man from their childhood didn't have their own little like fucking like super cameo where they got to do something badass. I'm sorry. This is Miles Morales' story and it appears to be 2099 story as well. It
You know
seems
what
like
I
he's going
feel
to have an
like?
important role. Yeah.
I feel like that movie is gonna have some like Lego Batman movie like esque like things of like how many like characters there are gonna be in there with like
Yeah.
all these obscure Spider-Mans and shit. Like that's the vibes I'm getting from the movie right now. Like I think it's gonna be a really good movie and it's gonna have a lot of like different characters in it with you know or I don't know how to say it right, but like obviously like not everyone is gonna get their own part. Like I wouldn't be
Yeah.
too shocked.
Yeah, no. I think that's kind of the thing that people I really hope I wish that they weren't advertising it with all these different Spider-Man because I think it's going to set up a precedent that people are going to like expect that because there's definitely going to be like some kind of like in the last movie. Like think about the last movie had like some of the most obscure Spider-Man of all time and they were really all pretty interesting. And so
Yeah, which
like
speaking of which, no Spider-Man Noir. I'm so upset.
no Nicolas Cage rip. You
Very
hate to see
upsetting.
it. That's actually yeah. He was really entertaining. That was like he was like probably one of my favorite characters in that movie. But I don't know. I don't know. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But I hope that I don't go into that movie with a very negative like, with a very negative idea of how it's gonna be, and I just hope I don't ruin it for myself. But I do also love 2099. So as long as there's enough 2099, then I will definitely be satisfied because that's another one of my favorite Spider-Men.
I think we've got a good year of movies coming for us here. I think
Yeah.
these are all gonna be really good. For the
What
most
about
part.
Cocaine Bear?
What?
Cocaine. Have you seen the trailers for that shit?
I've never even
It's a
heard of that, to be honest
it's a
with you.
movie where it's literally going to be like a bunch of people who are running from a bear that like snorted all their fucking cocaine. It's like just like an hour of people just surviving. Like, first of all, fun fact, grizzly bears can run at like 45 miles an hour. So there's that. And then like on cocaine, yeah, no.
I didn't even know that was happening. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's going to be oh, what about the Jesus Revolution? That's going to be a great film, guys. I'm going to stop shitting on Christians. I'm kidding. I'm not actually shitting on Christians. But um yeah, no. I think that the movie that I think is going to surprise people, I think that the Mario movie is going to I think everyone's going to go into it with a negative mindset, and I think that it's going to do well because I think that like it's going to be one of those things where Chris Pratt is definitely going to suck. Well, maybe not suck, but Chris Pratt is definitely not going to live up to the original voice actor's potential and expectations, but I don't think it's going to ruin the film.
Yeah, I don't think it will either. I think it'll be fine, to be honest.
Also, monkey in movie.
I'm pretty excited for it. Like I said, honestly, I think we've got a good year of movies coming for us here. Like honestly, it's a lot of things I'm personally excited for that I'm gonna go see.
I agree.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for today. I don't know if there's anything else you wanna like throw in here before we end this.
Oh hell no! Except next week is the prime time, the live action. Ooh.
Yep, that's right, guys. Don't forget next week, the podcast will not be on this channel. It'll be on my bro DJ Panda's channel.
Hey.
That includes the Twitch live stream too, if you guys are watching it live. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited for that, and we're gonna have E come live. He's gonna be here. He's gonna be fucking joining us, and it's gonna be pretty fun.
Hell yeah!
We're gonna fun time.
I'm just gonna make a quick before you wrap up. I'm gonna make a quick comment so people know that I'm just gonna say hi. People know that I'll be in the the guy DJ Panda 2K. Click on that. Go to him. That's where the podcast will be next week.
That is
Roughly the same time though. It may be a little later, just so like we can do like voice checks and make sure the mic's in a good spot, and like we'll have to do all that fancy schmancy stuff. But it's also going to be an extended episode, which is like, I mean, we already kind of go over an hour anyway, but like whatever.
But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys can make it here next Friday because I think it's gonna be a really fun episode. I'm excited for it. And like I said, we are gonna try and eventually get this shit on Spotify and other streaming platforms. I haven't really gotten to work on it quite yet, but I'm hoping we can get it at some point. But yeah, I hope you guys can pull up to DJ Panda's channel next week. I'm excited. I want to talk about One Piece.
Hell yeah!
Let's go.
We got a little tangent in today.
Got a little
peppered
bit
them
in.
up.
But yeah, I will see you guys then. Peace.
Peace.